being weird. Hopefully it gets us through this. Hello, hello. Hello, everyone. Hi, baby love. How's everyone doing? Hi, Jen. Hi, Gabby. Hello, Sarah. Thank you. Thank you, Gabby, Jen, Sarah. Thank y'all for sharing my live. I appreciate you. Hi, Divine Feminine Rising. Hello, hello. Hi, Christy Moon Tarot. So good to see everyone. All right. This, as y'all know, sometimes was that a question? I'm sorry, it's scrolling up. There was, oh, I gotcha. I was like, what is Sarah talking about? An interview going quickly or something like that? And it had been, apparently Jen had been in an interview. I think you asked us about that interview a while back, didn't you, Jen? How did that go? All right. This first card reading is going to be for Gabby. She was the first one to start sharing my live. I so appreciate her. Thank you, Gabby, for sharing my live. I just, right there, said stop. So you say the name until cards tell you to stop. And then you see what you got. All right. Wait a minute, let me stop that. All of a sudden the video started playing. I was editing some videos on here for the live. All right. So this is for Gabby. Gabby, looks like you have a new journey that you're starting. You're having a new journey that is really going to entail creativity and some new feelings. It's going to entail your spirituality and your intuition. I know that because we got the Ace of Cups. So it's really going to be something that you're thinking about, you're sitting with intuitively, and you're being pulled forward. The next card is the Death card. It is not a physical death, and this, usually the Death card isn't. The Death card is, it doesn't really ever bother me. It's usually about the ending of something, which makes sense because the first card we had was the Ace of Cups, which is the beginning of something. Usually we start something right after we have the ending of something. But because we have the beginning first and then the ending, tells me that something is trying to enter your life, but you're not letting go of a past feeling, a past situation to allow space for this new thing to come in because of the placements of them. So you want to make sure that you're evaluating your life, and if you're just holding on to something that is no longer serving you, you want to make sure you have that recognition so that you can let it go to allow new things to come in. This new thing coming in is going to have to do with teamwork, the power of three, well, it's really the power of more, but the power of people getting together. It's something new that's coming into your life that has to do with a group of people, not you doing it individually. The people that you are going to be doing this new project with, you have a lot of respect for. You are seen in this group as a leader. So you want to make sure you're leaning into that energy. How I know that is because we have the Emperor card. So right now, let's recap real quick before we move on. So there is a new project trying to come into your life, Gabby. You need to make sure you're evaluating your life and letting go what no longer serves you so that you are making room for this new project. This new project is going to entail a group of people that are teamwork, and it's going to be with people that you really respect, that they see you as a leader, and this new project is going to have a lot of structure to it, a lot of stability and a lot of structure. All right, thank you, Gabby. I know, it does sound exciting, doesn't it? Oh, it's very exciting. excited for her. That was very sweet of you to make that comment, Barbara Skincare. I love how people get excited for other people's readings. Y'all make it so fun on here. Thank you, thank you. All right, this next reading is for Divine Feminine Rising. So Miss Sarah and Jen, I'm so excited to see y'all in a few days. So here I live outside of Omaha, Nebraska. But I have a group event coming up, in-person group event coming up in Omaha this Sunday. And Jen and Sarah are driving over. What are y'all driving? Like an hour and a half or 2 hours to come and see the event. I can't wait to meet y'all in person. I'm very excited for that. If anyone else is in the area, make sure you get your tickets. There's a few left. I think I have about 5 tickets left. It's our smaller venue, so the crowd will be smaller, but I'm looking forward to it. You can get the tickets on my website, Christy Godwin Psychic Medium, under events, or you can get them on Eventbrite. Okay, so this is for Divine Feminine Rising. Right there, it said stop. That card is definitely the first one. It flipped right out of my hand. All right, Divine Feminine Rising. Here we go. This is a really fun and exciting energy in your reading, Divine Feminine Rising. The Page of Pentacles is the first one. You're going to have a new project starting out as it relates to work. I know that because Page is something new starting. Pentacles is related to your physicality on this work or your work. It's a new idea, something that you have manifested. It could be a great financial opportunity. And you have come to this point in your life where you're able to start this new endeavor because you have just closed down a transition. This is the World card as you have completed a cycle. You did it well. You're headed into the next cycle of your life. You know, you can kind of feel when things close down in your life and you transition to a new lesson or a new adventure. And that's what this World card is about. You have really transitioned. And whenever I feel into the cycle of your life that has just closed down, it feels really good. You did a good job on it. You handled it well. It has a lot of positive energy with it. So now you're going to have this opportunity to start a new Page of Pentacles. You're going to start a new opportunity. Now, as you roll into this new opportunity, I was really looking at the energies coming into it. Like we always have energies that are rolling into a new opportunity. This one for you is really about your compassion and your nurturing. You have the ability to really show a tremendous amount of compassion. You have the ability to show a tremendous amount of nurturance for others. And because you have been sitting in that energy, you have really been playing upon what your strengths are. That has what has opened up this new opportunity for you. We're ending with the Magician card. I love the Magician card. My favorite card is the 8 card. But again, it's funny because the 8 card and this one both have this infinity sign. I love that because it is just an eternal infinity. You have the infinite ability to manifest. You have infinite power at your fingertips as long as you sit with it correctly. And you have been sitting with it correctly. That's what this Queen of Cups is telling us, because you have really been pushing forward with your compassion and comfort. Now, just because you're compassionate and a nurturance to other people doesn't mean you let them step all over you. You have a wonderful ability to put in place in boundaries. Now, do you know what this new opportunity coming your way is? Have you been manifesting this new opportunity? Miss Divine Feminine? Hello. So good to see everyone on here. All right. Okay. So Divine Feminine isn't quite sure what this new opportunity is. So let's just get... I asked for clarity. So, you know, Divine Feminine, the card I got for clarification was a lot like one of the cards that we just read. It's the High Priestess. The High Priestess and the Magician has a lot of that same energy of intuition. The High Priestess is sacred knowledge. You have the two sides, the the darker side and then the lighter side. This reminds me of a teaching I just did within my Divine Collective. The Divine Collective teaching was about the complementary forces of the dark and the light. Now, dark is not dark, oh, scary energy. It is about really acknowledging that shadow sides of ourselves. And you've been doing a lot of work in that Divine Feminine. You've been doing a lot of work on yourself. You've been doing a lot of work of processing trauma, of really sitting with your shadow side, sitting with yourself. You have done a lot of work on that. And because of that, just like that completion card, you've been experiencing a lot of joy. That is going to, and again, I want to start holding personal workshops on personal power. That is exactly it. And again, same energies, different layout, because we're ending with the Chariot card, which is your charging forward. And again, you see how you have this, you on this High Priestess card, you have the darker side and the lighter side. Same thing. You started with that card, now you're ending. You have the darker energy and you have the lighter energy. And it's not like something bad is coming your way. It's your ability to be able to help people process those, the completion, the good and the bad. You have to sit with the dark. You have to sit. That's where we get our wisdom, when we sit with those traumatic experiences, when we sit with our feelings. That is how you really gain your wisdom. So that is exactly it. Oh, what's Humble Home saying? About a year ago, you reached my mom, who told me she was holding a baby boy. I'm 21 weeks. With a boy? With your fourth son. Aww. That's beautiful. Thank you, Humble Home. So she was just, apparently a year ago, at some point, I don't know if it was on a live or I don't know, but I had read Humble Home 22 and said that her mom was holding a baby boy, and she's now 21 weeks pregnant with a baby boy. Congratulations. Congratulations. All right. You're welcome, Divine Feminine. At the time, we had no idea we're adding another baby. So that was a huge shock to me. And now I know sometimes when I give people information like that, you can tell they're not ready for it. And they're like, what? I'm not having any more kids. No way. But I know you're happy about it. I can feel that you're actually ecstatic. It might have been a shock when you heard about it, but I can feel that you're very ecstatic about it. All right. Let's do another card read. Who do we have going on next? Let's see. This is going to be for Ruth. Thank you, Ruth, for sharing my live. So let's see. This is going to be for Ruth. Thank you for sharing my live. Right there, it said stop. Did you hear those cards start like rubbing? You know what that means, Hayden? Hayden, what, I don't know what they're talking about. Is it something good, bad? I don't know. So, I don't know. Can y'all define what Hayden... I know my followers are really good at helping me here. So what is Hayden talking about? Do y'all know? Okay. Okay. Don't say it. LOL. I wouldn't, because I don't even know what it is. So, you know. He's playing. Does he need to be blocked? It's inappropriate. It's done. My moderator had already blocked him. All right, sweet soul. Okay, so now this reading is going to be about, it's for Ruth. And the first card we have here is the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups is really about not seeing things for as they are. Illusion. You're looking at, oh, okay. You're about to have some hard energy coming your way, Miss Ruth. I'm so sorry. When I saw this, I hadn't even looked at the cards because I was so busy trying to figure out what that kid was talking about on here. But when I saw this first card, I went to look at the rest of them, and you're about to have a lot of energy coming your way. So it's one of those times in your life, I'm so sorry, where I'm going to tell you put your seatbelt on and just go with the flow. Enjoy the ride as much as you can. You're not seeing a situation for what it is. And because of that result, you're going to have a Tower card moment. A Tower card moment is where the rug is jerked up from under you. That's the best analogy I have, where you're standing there and it is, just jerked up from under you. You're going to be okay on the other side. The other side, we have the Nine of Wands, and you can see he is standing there. He's been through battle. He's got his head wrapped. He's got his arm wrapped. This person has just battled it out. They just went through this Tower card moment because they were not seeing something as it was, and so it came as a complete surprise to them, completely blindsided. They came out on the other side much smarter. You see how they're holding this one wand? That is a symbol of they're holding the knowledge that they just learned. They're leaving the bad stuff behind, but they're holding the this knowledge. They're standing. They just went through battle, but they're standing. You're going to get through it by leaning on others. This is the Three of Pentacles. It's about teamwork and collaboration. You're going to get through this moment by leaning into others, leaning on others. There is someone I'm feeling that has been kind of warning you about the situation, and you haven't been listening, and it's not a bad thing. I mean, I can't tell you how many times people, not so much anymore, but people used to, well, they don't anymore. They just don't, but they used to argue with me. And, oh, do you already know what it is, Miss Ruth? I'm sorry. Those moments are tough. It's tough moments coming your way like that. All right. We're going to do, what should we do next? Should we continue card? Should we do spirit led? What should we do? All right. Aw, thank you. Much love to you, Miss Ruth. I appreciate you. Someone said spirit led. I know. I asked my moderator, I said, what should we do? And he said, everybody likes spirit led. And then all of a sudden people start popping on here. Spirit led, spirit led. All right, who's going to kick us off today? Okay. The first person stepping up is a gentleman. Come closer, please. Okay. I'm hearing the name George around him. He was fond of the drink. Okay, he was showing me a bunch of stuff, but the energy feels off about it. Let me figure out what this off energy is. He is showing me that he never really had much. He is showing me a trailer that has, like a trailer you live in, not one that you pull behind a car. And it needs a lot of work. He had a loss in his life that just really threw him off. He is showing me, in his prime, he was getting it, he had a job, he was providing for his family, he was doing all the things he needed to do, and then he had this loss that really, he's showing the Tower card, it really just pulled the rug out from under him, and he lost his footing. And because he lost his footing, he never quite recovered. He started drinking too much. When you drink too much, it can cost a lot of money, and it can cost the relationships around you. And he's showing me people warning him, like they don't like him when he's drinking. And he wasn't even a mean drunk, but they just didn't like him. They didn't like the smell of him. They just didn't like his personality when he was drinking. He thought he was funny, and he wasn't. And the relationships around him slowly started breaking down, including the relationships with his children. He is also showing me that he was kind of ready to go. Like he didn't care if he went. He was ready to go. He had just had such a tough time in life, and this loss that he experienced just took him out. It feels like it was a wife or a significant other of that capacity. Okay, so if this person sounds like yours, please put a yes in the comments. I am going to, I know it is so sad. So the spirits you talked to are already connected. You know, whenever we pass and you cross over, yes, you are connected with your higher self. Okay, but like this person is showing me how they were on earth. If I showed you how someone was in heaven, you wouldn't know them. If I showed you how someone was once they were connected with their higher self and how they were over in heaven, I would describe them and you'd be like, I don't know who that is. So they present how they were on earth so that you can recognize them, not how they are right now. Okay, let me recap this gentleman. And if he's yours, play yes in the comments. I'm seeing the name George around him. He was in the prime of his life. He is showing me that he was a very successful human. He was providing for his family. Though he still drank, really not that much. He was doing what he needed to do. Then he had a significant loss. It feels like his wife, but it could have been someone he loved just as desperately. And he is showing me, it took him out. He's showing me that Tower card. It jerked him out from under him. This loss really affected the entire family. He started drinking more than he should. As a result, he didn't work the way he should. He didn't manage his money the way he should. And it started costing him everything. He is showing me that he was living in a trailer that just really needed a lot of work. He is also showing me that he didn't really care if he stayed on this planet or not. He just wasn't taking care of his health. He was just really drinking too much. It also started affecting the relationships with his children. He turned into someone that his children really didn't know anymore. I mean, they still loved him, he is showing me, because he was their dad. And he was a really good dad at the one time. It's just once he had this loss, he had some failed relationships. A lot of failed relationships. He was a tall gentleman. He's showing me that he was tall. All right. Thank you, Jen, for sharing my live. I appreciate you. Does this gentleman fit anyone? Does anyone know who this gentleman belongs to? It's funny that Dylan was saying that someone that has died recently in his life, January 25th, 2025. This gentleman is showing me that he hasn't been over there very long. He hasn't died. He's been there for a few years, but not that soon. All right. Let me answer this message because it has to be answered. Sorry, people. I would be honored, exclamation point. What would you like me to talk about? Question mark. You know I have the gift for gab, exclamation point, LOL. Okay, sorry. Someone wanted me to do a presentation, and I know that they're in the middle of planning this event, so I wanted to get back to them real quick, because you know how it is whenever you're planning an event and you're waiting for someone to get back to you. You're like, I want to get this scheduled. All right. So it looks like this gentleman is not going to be claimed right now. So we'll just see what we got. Dylan Galactitus, I'm sorry. Yeah, so sad. My daughter and I lost our grandfather. I'm so sorry. Well, you know, if y'all want to, so now I have been going over to, it's Greek. His name was George. Okay, so simply 3-5. What are you talking about? You said his name was George. Are you claiming the spirit? Are you claiming the one I just described? Now, when I go over to Instagram, which is where I'm going from here, I just let people go live with me. I don't know what it is. Like, I have all my stuff is blowing up. With different people wanting me to do different things. Okay, so his name was Greg. Okay, so simply 35. What is this George that is? Who is that? Are you saying the rest of it fits? Also, Dylan, Greg. You said that his name was Greg. Does the rest of it fit? Does the rest of the explanation fit? What I was saying is when I go live on Instagram, I just choose people. I do like the Wheel of Fortune. My ex's father was George.
She said it sounds like her ex's father, but she can't call him because she doesn't know enough about him.
All right, we're still going to go with her because I felt like that's who it was. Okay, and there's going to be a method to my madness, okay? So simply ST35, I'm going to ask you to go live. There's a method to my madness.
She said it does sound like him.
Yeah, it does sound like him because it is him. The second she said that, he was leaning over my shoulder when she was like, she was doing this. That's the reason when I saw that George, I was about to keep going, and the spirit stopped me. He's like, no, that's it. That's me. All right, sweet soul, I just asked you to go live, so if you can accept. Okay, sweet soul, I've asked you. Oh, I'm live.
Oh, you're live?
Yeah,
Oh,
what you
she's
need?
doing the live. We'll talk.
Do you need something?
It's a client for you.
It's a client for me?
Yeah, but if you're on live, just keep going.
Okay.
Unless you want to talk to this client right now. I don't think you want to do that when you're on a live.
I don't, but hello, client.
It's Jeannie.
Hi, Jeannie.
Okay, Christy's live right now.
Okay.
Anyway,
Can y'all tell my house is chaos this afternoon? I have someone visiting me, and apparently, it's a long story, but anyway, a client called them. She can't go live right now. She's feeding a little one. Okay, so simply, she said it did sound like her ex's father or grandfather. Her ex's father, right? Okay, very good. And now, if y'all ever have seen me read, y'all will be able to tell how well the person knows the spirit, right? The first thing this guy did was step up with his name. Now, I do give a lot of personalities, right? I didn't necessarily give this guy's personality. I give you traits of his life. I still gave evidence, but the evidence was different. Because normally, if you know the spirit, I'm going to explain the personality. And the reason that is because when you can feel the personality of your spirit, that's when it hits home like, yes, that's my mom or that's my dad. But you could tell that the way I was getting this information, whoever he belonged to didn't know him that well. Because he gave his name and then some other identifying information, but none of it was really personality. It was events that happened in his life. So, now, this message is going to be for Simply. I'm going to call her Simply. I'm not sure what her name is, but I'm going to call her Simply because it's too long to say the whole call name. She says it's her ex's father. Now, she is saying that, or he is saying, he's apologizing to Simply. Now, why is he apologizing to her? Because his reverberations, people think that whenever you act inappropriately or you hurt people, that you're just hurting, let's just say his son. He hurt his son. There's no denying that. He hurt his son. But as a result of him hurting his son has then started hurting other people. Because of that unhealed trauma. And this is where generational, thank you.
Yes, it did.
Okay, thank you Simply for confirming that. This is where generational trauma comes from. So even though he's talking to Simply, he's also giving kind of a group message that if you have unhealed trauma, please take care of that. That's when I looked at my books at the end of the year, I had as much of my income come from mentoring people, because when I mentor people, we work on healing yourself. You may think you're coming to me to be a better psychic medium, to get control of your life, to live your life in a more intuitive manner, all those things, but at the core of all those things is healing trauma. Because once you heal the trauma within you, then you can navigate this world in a more intuitive manner, sitting more with the vibration of the universe than sitting with your own ego. So if you feel like that you have any of that, please get some help somewhere. He's also saying simply that he really appreciates how much you tried helping his child, the one that he hurt. You say it's your ex's father. You tried. You stayed in that relationship. You could tell that your ex was really a good person. I know he might not have behaved well, but he was a good person. And he is wanting to thank you for just how much you tried to help him. And even though you think you didn't, that you failed, you did make an effort. You did open up your ex's mind to the possibilities of what could be. Thank you for confirming that. So simply is confirming what I just said, that she did try to help. Also, he is confirming, and you felt this, that you got out just in the nick of time. Now, what do I mean that you got out in the nick of time? You can tell that at some point, if you are not extremely gifted in helping other people and good at putting up boundaries, you can start to lose your soul in those kinds of situations. And you were getting to the point where you were starting to lose yourself in that situation. And he is confirming that you're right, that you got out just in time. And of course you did bring, it did, thank you for confirming, honey, she did have to heal, and you did a very good job of it. But I will let you know that you had no choice. You had no choice but to get out. Now, whenever I am given information like that, like she had no choice but to get out, I know that at some point you've looked back at that relationship and you've wondered, should I have stayed longer? Could I have helped? Shoulda, woulda, coulda. And no, you gave all that you could, and it was time for you to go. All right. Thank you, Simply. I appreciate you. Let me answer this back, please. All right, put me down as a definite, and I will let you know in the next couple of days the subject matter on which I will be talking, period. Some ideas I have are a few things that I could talk about are releasing triggers, comma, tapping into your intuitive ability, comma, self-love, comma. Okay, everyone on my live, I need help. Now, I've been asked to talk at a seminar, right? I'm gonna get back to spirit led, but y'all need to help me out here. I've been asked to talk at a seminar, and it's gonna be a breakout session. So it's a metaphysical thing. So they're going to be selling crystals. I will have a booth there where I do readings, but now I've been asked to do a breakout session. So now what are some things that y'all would be interested in hearing? Y'all hear me talk all the time. Like I talk about a lot of things just besides reading. So what are some things that y'all would like to hear? So I can talk about releasing triggers. I can talk about tapping into your intuitive ability. I can talk about self-love. What's some other things that it's going to be over in Council Bluffs? Oh, that's a good one. What is heaven like, comma? Is that what you were talking about, like the afterlife? What is heaven like? That would be a good one, because I did have that near-death experience not too long ago. Definitely releasing triggers, tapping into intuitive abilities. All right, let me see. Intuitive abilities. How you tap into your. All right. Going to be groupies. I'd love for y'all to be groupies. Self-love and boundaries. Let me put / boundaries. I like limiting beliefs too. All right. How to talk with have a conversation with spirit guides. All right, let me ask him if any of these are popping to him. Any of those standing out as something you hear people wanting to learn more about? Question mark. Okay. All right. Thank y'all for your help. Let's go on the spirit led. Okay. This next person stepping up has a grandmother energy to her. She is, the second she stepped up, I started hearing music around her. She is, and she showed me, not only does she love music, she showed me playing the piano. And she sometimes played it in church. Okay, so we have this grandmother energy. She's showing me she loved music. She could play the piano. She liked playing it in church. She's also showing me, it looks like she's actually playing an organ in church. Gosh, they don't have those much anymore. But anyway, she's also showing me she would wear jackets. So you would know her to have this habit of wearing a jacket. Now, when I wear a cardigan or a jacket, I will grab whatever side, like my right side, I will pull my right hand, my left side, but she would reach over and she would pull like this. She also wanted to make sure her lipstick was always just so. She is showing me come hell or high water. She was at church. And the reason I'm laughing because she's such a church lady and she is saying hell or high water. She was going to be at church. She's also referencing that Sundays were really, not that she didn't do anything else. Some people have been really strict about Sundays, like some religions are really strict about Sundays. But in her head, she really tried to use Sunday as a day of rest and worship and just sitting with the Lord, is what she is saying. She is showing me coming home from church and keeping her clothes on, except her church clothes on, except like putting slippers on instead of her shoes. Because she was going back to church in that evening. I asked her, why were you doing that? It's because she would go back to church in the evening. She would help with the evening service also. She is showing me liking Lawrence Welk. She was very particular about the kind of things she watched on TV and the kind of music she listened to, because she didn't want it to be the work of the devil. What she's saying. Bless her heart. She is very much showing me that she would have thought I was also the work of the devil. When she was Earthside, she would have definitely thought what I was doing was wrong, and she would just turn her head, and that had been absolutely the work of the devil. Oh my gosh, that is so funny, Tiffany. She was thinking it could be her grandmother, but she didn't even own a TV because it was a devil's box. We could still be with that. That could have been what she was showing me with this TV, because she was showing me just being so concerned about what was on it. So this might be a representation of she didn't have one, but she was concerned about what other people was watching on it.
Amy said yes. She was removing the teller sheet when she traveled.
Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah. I think we're with Tiffany here. Okay, Miss Tiffany, I'm going to ask you to go live. That's hysterical. That is so the energy of this lady. I am. That's so funny. Oh my goodness. Hi, Tiffany.
Hi, how are you?
Doing good. You're beautiful.
Thank you. Sorry I can't join the video, but
Oh, that's okay. I was looking at your picture. Um, so it was so funny that I could tell this lady, she was just so concerned about music and what was on the television. So it makes sense that she was just showing me the television to
yes,
announce.
she was Pentecostal, very, very strict, and would come off very vocally if anyone listened to music around her or talked about TV.
Yes, 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 yes. She's also referencing, and so that's why I see her keeping her skirt on and just taking her shoes off and putting her
Yep,
slippers on.
yep, in her chair every
Yep,
Sunday.
yep. All right. So usually spirits will give me a core memory that the person has of them. And so that was a core memory of Tiffany. She's like, yep, every Sunday I can see her doing it.
And going back to church Sunday night.
Yep. And that's what I asked her. Because I asked her, I said, why aren't you changing out of your church clothes?
I answered it before you even said it. I'm like, because she's going back to church. She puts her shoes on and didn't change. So
Yep. And so for everyone watching, that's what I was saying. So apparently Tiffany was saying it because I was asking her, why didn't you change? Why are you doing that? And Tiffany at her own home or wherever she is answered it to herself as the grandmother was answering it. It was the same answer. So you know that is a definite sign that she's yours. You know, your grandmother does not regret her walk on this planet or the choices she made, but she is actually referencing something that I have said to people a lot lately because you know I have a lot of people come at me as you can imagine. And she said, you know, I actually could have learned a little bit more from that statement. And what I say to people is, can you imagine getting to the gates of heaven and God saying, you know what, go back to earth and be a little bit more judgy, and then next time we might let you in.
wow, yeah. She was incredible. One of the things that I often think about is she would come across so hard, but she wanted a relationship with Christ so deeply. And she passed that on to my dad. You know, they were very harsh.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Um, so this is a little bit, oh, someone said I said the same thing during a reading last week. Oh, Baby Love said, I don't remember that. So, what you are saying, Tiffany, is something. So now I want Tiffany and everyone else listening, whenever you start hearing themes come towards you of subject matter. So now what Tiffany is talking about is something that Jesus himself came to me the other day and was telling me. And then I was listening, I was on the treadmill listening to a worship song. Yes, I would listen to worship music. It was the same thing as how we try to pursue the goodness of God instead of just sitting and allowing it. So Tiffany just said that her grandmother wanted it so bad that she almost turned people against it.
That's right. Her heart was in the right
Yes.
right place. And my dad was the same exact way. And he's still living, but he wanted it so badly and so purely that it comes off really hard.
Okay, so now that is something, I'm getting chills because I can't tell you how many times I have been called to say this message that I'm about to say to y'all. And Tiffany just, like Spirit just gave me the complete opening, is that we spend so much time chasing it and all we have to do is sit and accept it.
That's right.
Because that's it. When we chase it, we miss the mark. You know, that your grandmother is saying, Tiffany, though, that you do it right. You hold beautiful space for people and you just love people wherever they are. Not, and you do a really good job. And this is something I'm very proud of you for because I don't see it a lot. It is you create beautiful boundaries. Like you love people, but you also have really good boundaries.
I was always kind of the wild child, but with a big heart, and I always had the discernment to feel the spirituality and faith, but still do it in my own way.
Yes. And your grandmother's very proud of you for doing that. She's also mentioning Because as I'm looking at your picture, like as I'm talking, I'm looking at your picture and I'm thinking, oh, wow, she has beautiful eyes. And your grandmother says, she's welcome for that. So your eyes must come from your grandmother's side of the family.
They're on both sides, but they very much do. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I'm sitting here looking at your picture, it's like, oh, she has such beautiful eyes. And your grandmother said, yeah, she's welcome. It's like, oh, she's
I get a lot of compliments on that, and it very much is from her side. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what she was saying. Now, your grandmother was saying also that you have been having, okay, have you noticed your dreams getting more or dreaming more lately? Have you noticed dreaming more lately?
So crazy. They have been so intense, like visions.
Yeah. Okay, so now that's not an accident. We just went through, now for everyone out there, I'm about to blow y'all's mind, kind of a timeline shift. And I woke up one day and I felt like we had gone through this timeline shift, and all of a sudden my dreams started getting very vivid and everyone started talking about it. And I was like, oh, we did go through a timeline shift. And as a result, we're starting to kind of vibrate a little bit more higher. Now, that's wonderful. The a downside to that is, as the light workers, and I know that you don't probably consider yourself a light worker, but just because of your vibration and how beautiful you are and how you love people, you're a light worker.
I've done a little research on that, so I'm familiar.
Yes. Whether you're whether you wanted to or not, here you are, Tiffany. But also, as the light workers have now started to vibrate a little bit higher, you're going to see more people acting out because now you're getting this divide, if that makes sense.
I've been going through a season of more isolation, and I've always been someone that has, and it's kind of been, I kind of have chosen that too in a way, but I've gone through the last 10 years surrounded by a lot of people, and then went through a divorce 2 years ago, and a lot of close friends I had to set boundaries, and it was hard because I couldn't fully explain it, but I was just being used and pulled on. So it's been a very cleansing, also somewhat, isolated season.
Yes, you've handled it well. And those seasons, that was kind of why I was teaching about in this program called Divine Collective, is implementing that light and dark. You have to go through those seasons where you're in the dark, where you're sitting by yourself, where you're kind of isolating to be able to gain the wisdom from it. You did.
Yeah, I did a post about, even the caterpillar has that season of isolation, and you just have to have that transition by yourself sometimes.
You do. Thank you, Tiffany.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Right. So that was fun. For anyone interested, oh yeah, everyone's dreams will be very crazy. We did just go through that timeline shift. Okay, so now I know that Tiffany was kind of talking about kind of having to isolate, kind of, switching friends a little bit. Because I've had so many people coming at me wanting that support, I do have a group called the Divine Collective. It's on my website, Christy Godwin Psychic Medium, under Divine Collective. It is a group where we meet at least 3 times a month, and there is an ongoing chat. And so, this month so far, we did a workshop on implementing, because it was spring solstice, it was implementing starting new transitions and really that light and dark in your life. We've done cards, and we just did a group reading. Now I haven't every month. I haven't set April's days yet, but there will be the same things in April. So please join us. Check it out. It is a great way to be around like-minded people and not feel so alone on your spiritual journey. Thank you, Sarah. Okay, so let's see who else we have here. Okay, you know what? We're going to close down with some psychic readings. And then, because I'm about to head over to Instagram and I don't want to go over my time. But now what I will be doing on Instagram is, I don't know if y'all have been on Instagram. It's a lot of fun, so please join us over there. Is when you come on, you ask if you want to join. And you say yes. And then you'll come up as someone who wants to join my live. I just do like a Wheel of Fortune spin, and I click on someone, invite them to go live. And when I invite you to go live, you can choose what you want. You want a card read? You want psychic? Do you want mediumship? You get to choose what you want. And we do it right there on the live. So please join me on the Instagram whenever it's time. All right, are y'all ready? Ready, Freddie? Okay, we're going to answer Jin's question. Are y'all ready? Y'all know how it is. Claircognizant, you're just going to know. Clairvoyantly, you're going to get some kind of symbol. Clairsentiently, you're going to feel it. Clairaudiently, you're going to hear it. Jin wants to know, will the IUI we did today lead to a pregnancy? Jin wants to know if the IUI they did today lead to a pregnancy.
Yes, yes, yes. Yes. Yes.
Oh, okay. So everyone on here is saying yes. What are you getting?
Yes.
Okay, hold on. I'm sitting with some energy. Just a second. Okay. I'm getting... Now, this is difficult for me because, I love me some Jin. And I'm getting no.
Decent.
Everyone else is saying yes,
Decent.
and I get that. A couple of people are saying no and not this time. My moderator, hang on a second. Christy is working this one. I really had to sit with it because I really wanted that. I wanted to say yes really badly. And when you want to say something really badly, you have to know that you're in your ego. I'm wondering, okay, so let's ask another question. And now this is how you play the energy out. It's really important to follow the energy and play it out. I want you to envision the representation of her in your head. And I want you to picture someone 5 months pregnant, because that's really to the point of viability. And then also people kind of start showing 5 months out. I want you to envision Jin 5 months out, whatever you have for her in your head, and do you see her showing? Do you see her being pregnant 5 months out? If you see it, please say yes. I will take being wrong. Lord, will I?
It's next batch.
All right. Some people are saying yes. A couple of people are saying no. I don't see it working this time, but let me tell you, I will take it being wrong. Absolutely will take it. Sometimes when I answer these questions, I hope I'm wrong. All right, please keep us updated, honey, and we will still be sending you some good energy.
I'm gonna see her Sunday.
Yes, I will see you Sunday. Okay. Spirit was just dropping something in. I was like, I don't know. Because Jen's coming to my in-person event. I was like, oh, maybe I should just do a healing on her. But then the Spirit showed me sitting her in the middle, like at the front, and having everyone send her energy. I don't know if she would do that. Would that embarrass you, honey? Would that embarrass you if I sat you in front of the crowd? I had everyone send you healing energy. Would that embarrass you? Just let me know. Okay, Britt says, will I get the promotion I interviewed for?
Yes, do it. No embarrassment.
Oh, okay, she won't be embarrassed. Good. Now, moderator, you'll be there. Don't let me forget.
Yeah.
Okay?
Jin, don't let me forget.
Yeah. Jin. Sarah. Sarah, don't let us
Yes.
forget.
Sarah, don't let us forget.
Okay, will Britt get the promotion she interviewed for? What are y'all seeing? Will Britt get the promotion? Amy is saying yes. What are you getting, moderator? Yep. Everyone's saying yes. Moderator said yes. I got a yes. So congratulations, Britt. It looks like that promotion is coming your way.
Don't do anything to mess it up.
Oh my gosh. My moderator said don't do anything to mess it up.
Keep
It
the
is
energy
true.
flowing, man. Keep it going.
Yeah, it is true. You do have to do your part, but I know you're in. I have smart people that follow me, right? You know, you still have to push the energy. You have to row the boat. Kelly Cart, she wants to know, when will I find my person? Okay, Kelly Cart wants to know, when will I find my person? What y'all got? Okay, when someone gives you such an open-ended, sometimes it's easy to break it down. If you don't instantly get the answer, sometimes it's easy to break it down. You ask yourself, is it going, you break it down to a year first. Is she going to find her person in 2025? First, you break it down, beginning of next year, end of the year. Okay, I was getting no to 2025, 2026. Yes. I'm getting, oh, that's cute. Amy K says, I feel like she already has, but she doesn't realize it's them. Oh, I love that when people do that. Okay, so Divine Feminine says, I'm asking my cards, and I got the Two of Cups, which means she will, but so I don't know when, but she will. So I am getting the beginning of next year also. So now the people that are hearing it's getting the later in this year, that could be a couple of things. Like if you're getting the end of this year, me and a couple of other people are getting the beginning of next year. So you could be, the energy could be that you can change it. She could absolutely, you change it to be the end of the year. Or you could feel the beginning of the energy, because what happened is I felt into the end of the year and I started getting excited. Like I could feel that excitement. So I knew I was close. And then when I felt into next year, the first quarter, I was like, oh yeah. Also, it could be that she meets the person towards the end of this year, but doesn't realize it until the beginning of next year. Because I do feel the excitement at the end of this year. All right. I want to thank everyone who has joined me. If you haven't done so, please click that follow button. I'm headed over to Instagram, where we're going to play Wheel of Fortune. Now, if you don't know what Wheel of Fortune is, it's you asked that you want to join my live. I scroll and click. I just randomly click on people and then read you blind like that. Yeah. It's a little nerve-wracking. Yeah, I can imagine. I don't know what you're going to ask me. You could ask me anything coming on the screen. Just please have your clothes on.
Right.
It's G-rated. All right. I will see y'all over on Instagram.